Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we'll be doing an October release rewind where I'm going to go back and look at some of the new releases from this month to check in on how they're doing with ratings and comments. I've already gone ahead and selected 10 books from this Goodreads little listicle where they recap what has been released or what is being released in October. And they break it down by genre, or you can check it out by author, depending on what your preference is. I've already gone through this, and I ended up selecting 10 books, and I've broken it down into release dates. So first, we will be focusing on October 1st. The first will be The Society of Lies, which I thought I already had it marked as want to read. I want to read this. Maya returns to Princeton for her college reunion. It's been a decade since she graduated, and she is looking forward to seeing old faces and reminiscing about her time there. This visit is special because Maya will also be attending the graduation of her little sister, Naomi. But what should have been a dream weekend becomes Maya's worst nightmare when she receives the news that Naomi is dead. The police are calling it an accident, but Maya suspects that there is more to the story than they are letting on. As Maya pieces together what happened in the months leading up to her sister's death, she begins to realize how much Naomi hid from her. Despite Maya's warnings, Naomi had joined Sterling Club, the most exclusive social club on campus, the same one Maya belonged to. And if she had to guess, Naomi was likely tapped for the secret society within it. So you had me at secret society. I don't know if anyone remembers like Skull and Bones from like the early 2000s with Paul Walker and Pacey from, was it Pacey? Whatever the guy from Dawson's Creek was, but not Dawson. I loved that movie growing up. I did pull up some fun facts about this author. And so this is Lauren Ling Brown's debut novel. She is a Princeton graduate or alumni, and it's also a Reese's Book Club pick, which I think is just tremendous for your debut novel to be a like big, well-known book club pick. So currently it stands at 3.65 on Goodreads with 854 reviews. And the split is pretty good if you ask me. 40% basically are in the 4 stars and 17% in 5. So we're looking at just under 60% of this book has a rating of 4 to 5 stars. And then, kind of middle range 3. Well, let's do the usual where we kind of go 5 star and 1 star. I love how the author fully wrote a review. That's so cute. Society of Lies is a fresh take on the secret society and dark academia subgenres. The multi-racial character POV and class issues were portrayed with depth and authenticity. This is a great choice for fans of Lucy Folly, especially those who are seeking a younger, more diverse cast of characters. Fantastic vacation or weekend read. That's kind of what I was hoping for, a weekend read. This book was so good. Even more impressive is that this is the author's debut novel. Society of Lies is about sisters Maya. Okay, whatever. We read that already. Told in dual POV, so it's a multi-POV book between past and present. Okay, cool. Let's check out some 1 stars. The story started out really strong. I was all in and completely invested in binging the book in one sitting. However, very early, around 20%, with all of the back and forth between Maya in the present timeline, Naomi in the past, and Maya in the past, it all started to bleed together for me. I constantly had to work too hard to remember whose POV I was reading. I don't want to work hard. I just want to enjoy a book. Not a fan of the writing at all. Also, not a fan of these characters. DNF 20%. I just feel like the italic was a choice on that one, Heather, but okay. Lots of quibbles with this one, and I didn't have any fun with it. I had to work so hard to ferret out the plot that I was a little grumpy the whole time. Okay, so we have quite a few DNFs. Okay, so some of these negative reviews. Oh my gosh, an 84% DNF. You're 16%. I need to know why this person with 16% left said no. DNF at 84%. On the one hand, I feel like I might as well push through to the end, but on the other, I don't think that there's an ending that will make sense to me. But I liked college campus, secret societies, and whodunit spanning 10 plus years. My alma mater has 3 secret societies on its campus with some of the most beloved traditions. What I didn't like, this book didn't hit the way I had hoped regarding the secret societies, and the triple POVs were so confusing with lots of named characters. The downside to the college campus with our main character's current timeline and past timeline mixed with her sister's recent past timeline was so hard to keep track of. Okay, so I think the overarching thing regarding the negative reviews is that the multi-POV is maybe not successfully accomplished. However, I am going to give it a try, but now I was very excited for this book. Now I'm a little hesitant. I do think it would be a good kind of like weekend read, but I will go with it into it with the expectation of it's okay if I DNF it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to push myself too hard if I am finding the POV not great. Next, we have Fang Fiction by Kate Stayman London. I do have some fun facts about Kate Stayman London. I thought it was really cool that she is a political strategist and a bisexual double Libra. Her best-selling debut novel, One to Watch, was named a Best Book of the Year by Time, NPR, Mary Claire, Mashable, and more. Kate has written for political icons including Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, and Cher. I didn't know that Cher was a political icon, but pop off queen. This one I also wanted to read, actually. Tess Rosenblum is no stranger to the dark. An assault survivor and grad school dropout, she spends her nights managing a chic Brooklyn hotel and her days curled up with her favorite vampire novels, Blood Feud. Tess even dabbles in online conspiracies that Blood Feud is real. It's fun to hunt for clues, but deep down, Tess doesn't believe vampires actually exist until one walks through the door. It turns out Blood Feud is real, and the sexy villain of the novels is trapped. Eager to escape her life, Tess agrees to help rescue him, and soon she's in a fantasia of lavish palaces and enchanted forests on a secret island where the sun never shines, and she's surrounded by deadly vampires. Against her better judgment, she's falling in love with one of them. So this is tagged as romance, fantasy, vampires, paranormal fiction, adult contemporary. It is rated 3.64 stars out of 1,153 ratings. Let's check out the split. Again, kind of like a 60% in the top 4 or 5 star range. And then the rest of the bulk of that goes to 3 stars. So let's check out some 5 stars. I like author reviews. I don't know. And I also like short reviews. This book asks, what would happen if the fictional characters you're obsessed with turn out to be real? The answer, self-empowerment, healing, and lots of sexy vampires. This book is a delirious, heartwarming romp, and I ate it up. I am not a fantasy girly, but this was the perfect mix of fantasy and reality. When Tess uproots her life and starts working at a hotel, she never dreamed she'll meet a vampire. The adventures that take place next were fun and really well paced. I loved all the messaging and strong female characters. Would recommend this one 1000%. Thanks to Goodreads for the giveaway. Oh, very fun. And then let's check out some 1 stars. I might not read all of this one, but I just like this. I'm genuinely fuming about how much I do not like this book. Overall, the writing is mediocre. It reads like a typical cheesy Harlequin romance, which part of me thinks is intentional. Yeah, I think that's the point. Very tell, don't show, very immature narrative style in a lot of ways. I was willing to look past it, but the plot itself is driving me insane. No offense, Alexia. I think this book just wasn't made for you. Boring. This book was a chaotic mess that couldn't decide what it wanted to be. It isn't a romantic story either. It just features a very teeny tiny side romance that I found unromantic, juvenile, and completely predictable. What in the name of Buffy did I just read? I love romances, I love vampires, and naturally I dig a good vampire romance. I'm 100% the audience for this. So please believe me when I say that this is an unholy mess and not the sexy kind of unholiness you can expect in the best vampire romances. Most critically, the relationships here suck. Again, not in the good way. Okay, I really like this person's writing style. I'm not going to read all of it. I was a bit of a hater to Alexia because I was like, I think you just didn't pick up the right book for you. But Nat, this was the right book for her and it wasn't for her. So this one might stay on my want to read for a while, but we'll see. Next is a book I want to just highlight but not go into in depth. Henry V, The Astonishing Triumph of England's Greatest Warrior King. The reason I'm highlighting this is because my friend Michelle is actually a very big fan of Dan Jones, and the way that she's described his works to me is he is an author who predominantly deals with history, but he tells it in a way that's very engaging and very interesting. I wanted to point this out because if you're looking for history books, I would suggest checking out a Dan Jones if he touched on a subject that was in your kind of wheelhouse of interest. So yeah, this one's for you, Michelle. Next is one of our first Christmas books. This is Make the Season Bright by Ashley Herring Blake. This one seemed really cute to me. It's two exes find themselves stuck at the same house for Christmas in the holiday romance by Ashley Herring Blake, USA Today bestselling author of Iris Kelly Doesn't Date. So when I was looking into this author, it seemed that they had quite a bit of, like, they have 16 books. You can see that here. Sorry. And they kind of span like all over middle grade, YA, adult romance, like all sorts of stuff. She just does it all, this Ashley. Basically, it's two ex-girlfriends find themselves at the same place over the Christmas break, and they have to pretend that they don't know each other. And so it's kind of, I'm guessing, almost like an enemies to lovers, well, lovers to enemies to lovers again. But it sounded very cute, and I probably will check this out over the Christmas break. It has like 74% in the 4 to 5 star range, which I think is actually pretty great. And then again, 3 and 1. So let's check out some 5 stars. Sandra is just a big Ashley Herring Blake fan, and then the fact that it was a sapphic rom-com gets her thumbs up. Her books are relatable in so many ways. The characters aren't perfect. They felt so real for that reason. I love the main characters in this one and all the holiday vibes. It truly had me feeling so deeply for all the characters, plus a few laughs along the way. Beautiful, engaging book, a refreshing holiday read. First of all, I love Tanya's profile picture. GNF, 6 chapters in. I really can't stand Brighton and her annoying and immature behavior. Girl really got an attitude, and the other one deserves better than her, even though I don't even know her well. All right. This book didn't give what it was supposed to give. I had high expectations just to be let down. I really enjoyed Delia Green Doesn't Care. I thought this would be just as good, but nope. I don't like second chance romance, specifically if the reason for their split is dumb. And I really don't enjoy when the main character don't interact. They had no communication, and TBH, the chemistry was lacking too. I just want a cube. All right. Well, those 1 stars don't frighten me. So this one I probably will pick up this Christmas season. Moving on to the October 10th releases, or October 8th, sorry. We have What Does It Feel Like by Sophie Kinsella. I'm not going to go too huge into this one either. I just want to point it out since Sophie Kinsella is an author that I've actually read a fair amount of because I was very much into the Shopaholic series way back in the day. But another thing that I thought was very interesting is this is fiction. However, it is, I think, roughly based on her own real life diagnosis with cancer. If I remember correctly, on April 17th, 2004, Sophie Kinsella shared that she had an aggressive brain cancer called glioblastoma. The book is fiction, but it is my most autobiographical work to date. Each story is my story. And she wrote the popular Shopaholic series. So that's why I wanted to highlight this. It has great reviews, 4.47 out of 3,942 ratings. We can check out the split quickly. Wow, like 80%, 4 to 5 star. So that seems like it's doing quite well. And my girl Jodi, The Bravest Book You'll Read All Year. I love Jodi Picoult. Well, I used to a lot. I don't read her as much. Then the next one, I don't plan on reading this one. Initially, I was interested in the puzzle series. There's Puzzle Master, and then this is the follow-up to that, the Puzzle Box. However, the Puzzle Master, I would obviously want to read that first, and it didn't get awesome reviews. It just kind of like turned me off. But basically, Mike Brink is like a pro puzzle solver. And so now this story will take him to Tokyo, Japan to open the legendary Dragon Box, a mysterious 19th century puzzle that has remained unsolved for 150 years. So it's a mystery thriller. It's set in Japan. So all of that sounds so interesting. But then the first book in the series really didn't capture me, and I'm not one to kind of just jump in like that. That said, though, maybe I need to rewind on those thoughts and feelings because this has roughly an 80% 4 to 5 star rating. It is only out of 326 ratings, and this book is by Danielle Trussoni. This is a good one. I devoured this book in one day, and it ended a nearly 2-week reading slump, so I'm absolutely declaring it a must-read book. The protagonist, Mike Brink, has acquired savant syndrome after a traumatic brain injury, making him one of the best puzzle masters in the world. He is invited to Japan to attempt to open the legendary dragon box. Each previous attempt has ended in the death of the solver, so the stakes are high. I didn't know that. What Mike doesn't realize is the other factions in Japan are willing to kill for the priceless imperial secret locked in the dragon box, setting off an action-packed 24 hours of danger across Japan. The rip-roaring adventure thriller includes a neurodivergent hero, Da Vinci Code-style puzzles, two sisters caught between duty and family legacy, and death hanging over every move. I love the propulsive pace, the interwoven snippets of the past, the immersive Japanese setting, and the shocking twist. Jennifer Smith, you have a way with words. I might honestly just read this without reading the first one and just see how it goes. But let's read some 1-stars and see if my mind changes. All right, so we only had one, which was a DNF at 32%. This should not be listed as a mystery or thriller, more historical or cultural book. The characters are Dullsville. All right, well, that's your opinion. So those are the two for October 8th. And then surprise guest is The Christmas Tree Farm by Lori Gilmore. So this is, if I'm not mistaken, the third book in the Dream Harbor universe. I'm not going to go super into it. I wasn't a huge fan of the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I might read this around Christmas time just for the vibes. And it is a Grumpy X Sunshine. Are they all Grumpy X Sunshine? Because there's a one-bed trope. I'm reading this. I love a one-bed trope. Okay, and then we have one from October 15th, and it is called The Women's Hotel. It is a historical fiction by Daniel M. Lavery. Daniel M. Lavery is a best-selling author and a Vice columnist, and this is apparently a poignant and funny debut novel about the residents of a women's hotel in 1960 New York City. The Beddermere might be several rungs lower on the ladder than the real-life Bar Bazan, but its residents manage to occupy one another nonetheless. There's Catherine, the first-floor manager, lightly cynical and more lightly suggestible. There's Lucienne, a work-shy party girl caught between the love of comfort and an instinctive brindling at convention. Kitty, the sponger, Ruth, the failed hairdresser, and Pauline, the typesetter. And there's Stephen, the daytime elevator operator and part-time Cooper Union student. The residents give up breakfast, juggle competing jobs at rival presses, abandon their children, get laid off from the telephone company, attempt to retrain as stenographers, all with the shared awareness that their days as an institution are numbered, and they'd better make the most of it while it lasts. As trenchant as the novel of Dawn Powell and Rona Jaff, and as immersive as The Marvelous Miss Maisel and Lessons in Chemistry, Women's Hotel is a modern classic. And it is very, very funny. Okay, so I kind of skimmed initially when I was looking into this because I just liked the cover. And I was like, oh, it's like Lessons in Chemistry. I love that. But reading that synopsis didn't get me stoked. So this will be interesting based on, okay, so 46% in the 4 to 5 star. I just love this quote. If Daniel Lavery has a million fans, I'm one of them. If Daniel Lavery has one fan, that's me. If Daniel Lavery has 0 fans, I'm no longer on this earth. If the world is against Daniel Lavery, I'm against the world. I just love that. A perfect little book with a type of humor that glints and bites. I only wish it was 5 times longer, and it could have been so that every character received a longer study. Seems like quite a few DNFs. Daniel Lavery's style has always lent itself well to writing about women's interior lives from the early 1900s, and he gets to do exactly that here. It also lends itself well to diversion of light larceny, dealing with alcoholism, unexpected deaths, and the lives of the tenants of a small boarding house for unmarried women. Fantastic read, highly recommend for your fall. Betsy says, so bad, dry, boring, absolutely dusty. What a colossal waste of a good idea. On the plus side, it's got potential as a cure for insomnia. That seems hard. You know what? This didn't sell it for me, I'll be honest. So I think right now it's on nothing. I'm not clicking it as want to read. And I think that's because it's not gripping me. I am going to bounce back to October 1st. I did see this actually when I was in Indigo the other day. And it's the Mistletoe Mystery. It's a made kind of novella, just letting people know that that is out. And I like Christmas mystery sounds so fun, which is why I found it when I was looking at this one. Everyone This Christmas Has a Secret by Benjamin Stevenson. And I guess it's an Ernest Cunningham novel, the third one in the series, which like I hate discovering books this way because then I'm like, oh great, I have to go read like 2 others before I can read the one that's interesting, but whatever. Benjamin Steven returns with a Christmas edition to this best-selling, deviously good fun Ernest Cunningham mystery. Unwrap all the Christmas staples, presents, family, an impossible murder or two, and a deadly advent calendar of clues. If Knives Out and the Thursday Murder Club kissed under the mistletoe. This is why I clicked on this book. My name's Ernest Cunningham. I used to be a fan of reading Golden Age murders mystery until I found myself with a haphazard career getting stuck in the middle of real life ones. I'd hoped this Christmas that any self-respecting murderer would kick their feet up and take it easy over the holidays. I was wrong. And then I guess these are all the possible options. I think I'll read it, but I think I'm going to do that thing where I'm just going to skip ahead to this one and then hope for the best. And if I want to go back, I can. Holy macaroni. It has like 85%, 4 to 5 stars out of 345 ratings and no 1-star reviews. So my Christmas like TBR section is growing ever bigger. All right, let's see. Superbly clever Christmas mystery. I have a question for you all to comment down below about if you wish. What is everyone's opinion on the ability to be able to rate a book without having read it? So this person, February 24th, 2024, from what they've written, I can't wait. That implies to me that they haven't read this book. I understand like an arc. I have no issue with someone reviewing an arc. That's literally the whole reason. But to me, this seems like no book has been read. It's just like, yay, I like this author, give them 5 stars. I don't really like that, to be honest. Basically what I'm asking is, what's your opinion? Do you think it should be allowed for people who haven't read the book to literally like February 24th, 2024 has been able to leave 5 stars without having read it? I just think there should be some maybe like checks and balances for, did you get an arc? Like something that says like, yes, I read this. Like obviously no arcs were probably released in February, but I honestly know nothing. So who knows? Oh, it's a novella. Yeah, I want to read that. Next we have Remember You Will Die by Eden Robbins. I'm not going to do the deep dive into the comments for this one. The reason I'm kind of highlighting it is because it did have a very interesting synopsis. However, it just isn't something for me personally, as well as the reviews didn't make me feel like I need to read it. If it looks like it's something that's super interesting to you, I just thought it was such a cool concept that there's got to be some people where this is, this is their yum. So listen to this. Can the absence of words tell a story? Like a pattern in lace, the hole's as important as the threads. Oh shit. A search, a puzzle, 60 protagonists, all of whom are dead. Told entirely through obituaries and ricocheting through time, Remember You Will Die is an innovative, genre-bending epic about the messy tapestry of human history and the threads that connect us, told through the eyes of Peregrine, an AI mother grappling with the unexpected death of her human daughter Poppy. And from the newspaper clippings of individual lives emerges something else unexpected. Generations entwined through blood and art and the consequences of their actions, betrayals, and redemptions that traverse our dying world and beyond. Spanning continents, centuries, planets, and genres, and centering a diverse mix of human experiences, Remember You Will Die is a provocative exploration of who we are and what we could be. I think that telling a story through obituaries is so unique, which is why I wanted to highlight this book. It does have a 3.1 star rating out of 67 ratings, and the split is, it's pretty well even, right? Good, not great. And lastly is not something I plan on reading whatsoever, but I do know that John Gwynne is a very popular fantasy author. And so this is the 3rd book in the Bloodsworn Saga. This is the 3rd book in the I can't say this. This is the 3rd book in the Bloodsworn Saga. I just, it's coming out October 24th. I bet you there's a ton of people who are just super stoked. So this Tuesday will be a very happy day. And, okay, this is something I wanted to point out. Look how cool this picture is of the author. Like, I vibe with this hard. So there we have the October releases that kind of piqued my interest or I felt were worth noting. Let me know if you plan to read any of them, or maybe if you already have already for a couple of them. I definitely think that there will be a couple that I'll be checking out from this month's releases, particularly the Christmas ones. There were a couple there that sounded really fun. So I hope you have a really great week, and I will see you next time. Bye. Can I just say, like, like a man writing a woman.